Hey everyone, this is Dinesh from Advice in 20s. So here we're today. We want to talk about the top 10 non-programming jobs for computer science graduates. And some of you may be wondering why non-programming jobs for computer science. So whenever we say computer science, it doesn't mean just programming. There are a lot of streams within computer science, lots of careers, lots of jobs that you can find without being essentially in programming. So we're going to explore that. So for some of you, this is really useful for people who are looking to be computer science graduates who are going to graduate very soon, or you're thinking about computer science and you're not really interested in programming. So this might be something for you. So without further ado, let's get started. So in our list, top number one, project management. The pay scale for an entry level role in this for this title would be $72,000. You have the potential to go a lot more once you attain a lot more experience. Maybe five years to 10 years down the line, you might go to 150, 160, depending on what skills you learn. This is an excellent job for someone who has graduated with computer science and not interested in programming. So for a project manager, you don't really require programming, but you are required for any job in computer science for that matter. You are required to be a little technical to a certain extent so that that helps you grow up in your career. So just be mindful of that. It doesn't mean like you don't have to know anything, but again, the project manager is something that might interest you. So project management is really if you like to manage the work of others and you do not want to work yourself, that is really project management. You are responsible for making sure others are doing their work, the project is going as per schedule, and you are meeting budget constraints set for the project. So you are responsible for that. Again, it's a lot of pay because it's a very stressful job and you're going to have to negotiate with a lot of people. You're going to be talking to a lot of people. You're going to be running a lot of the project like Scrum, Agile, etc. So it's a tough job, but again, you don't need really technical skills or programming to actually do this role. So that's our top number one. Number two in our list is an ERP functional consultant. So when I say ERP, it stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. There are two main players in this space. One is called SAP, and the other is called Oracle, and other is Oracle. So these are the two main players. There is a lot of things that you would have to learn for SAP and to become an Oracle consultant. But again, you don't necessarily need programming to do this role or be in this to get a job as an SAP functional consultant. Again, be mindful there are different streams within SAP or Oracle where you would have to know some level of programming. If you are a techno functional consultant, is a term that they use. ABAP is another programming language that they use in SAP. So if you're going different streams, then you might have to learn programming. But strictly to be a functional consultant for an ERP package management, you would not need programming. So that is an excellent choice. And if you look at the pay scale, just for as an entry level, you get like $68,000, and for Oracle, you get $48,000. So that's pretty good. And then as you grow up the ladder, like 10 years later, you might be able to earn more. I have friends who earn a lot of money with as being an SAP consultants. But again, it is a travel job though, so you would be required to travel to a lot of the client locations. So if you love traveling and then integrating your products or SAP or Oracle products to the client location, then this might be a good job for you. Number three in our list, business analyst. So if you are good, let's say you're planning a vacation, and if you're good at making sure all the things that you need in order to plan for the vacation. Like you are good at, okay, where's the toothbrush? Where are the towels? Where are the clothes? Where are the headphones, etc. If you're able to get all that, and if you're able to book your flight, book your cab, getting your boarding pass and eating breakfast and finally catching your plane as planned, then basically what I'm trying to say is if you can connect all the dots, if you are good at integrating all the points together for any trip from A to B, then this might be a good job for you. Business analyst, usually they're also called business analyst or system analyst. They don't require programming as a job description. But again, as I said in my previous note, all jobs within IT or information technology or anything to do with computer science do require some level of technical understanding, but not necessarily programming. You don't have to be a programmer to become a business analyst. So that is our top number three. Number four is a very, very interesting job, actually made super popular in the last decade with the invention of Apple iPhone. So, product management. Product management is a job. If you sort of constantly thinking on how to make something better, let's say you look at the microwave and you say, okay, how can I make this microwave better? Or you look at an iPhone and say, hey, maybe I would include this new features for this iPhone and then sell it. If you are interested in capturing sort of new experiences, if you're able to understand, okay, like have a future vision, you might as well be an entrepreneur doing that. But if you are not interested to work for yourself and make money, you're not ready to take that step yet, then this is a good start. So if you're also planning to be an entrepreneur sometimes in the future, then product management could be a good role to fit into first, and then get slowly into product management and get slowly into entrepreneurship. Top number five, data analyst. Data analyst, if you like to snoop around on the web looking for what others are doing, then data analyst could be a good role for you. So data analyst, data analysts are people who actually mine data and actually get all the information to the management in order to give reports about how we're performing, what's happening, what the data tells you, etc. So again, this is not really programming, but this requires something called SQL, SQL. You can Google it. You'll have a lot of guidelines in w3schools.com. It's a good source where you can learn a lot of the IT lingos and things like that. But that's something. But that's not programming. But it's something that you would have to learn in order to be a data analyst. But it's quite an interesting role if you like database and if you like to snoop around. You like look for data, analyze things. So that would be a good role. Top number six is software testing. This is a fantastic role if you have a mind to analyze things, look at differences in order to investigate items that you feel is incorrect. So think about it like a police detective. So if you have interest to find out, okay, you're looking at a website. Oh, I do see this on this website, but something is wrong with this website. It doesn't function the way it's supposed to. If you have sort of a knack for that in order to find issues with any products application, then a software testing role could be a great role. Again, the industry is changing a little bit with the software testing space, so a lot of the new jobs do require a level of programming, which is really programming. It's not like SQL or anything. You really have to learn Python or Ruby for a division of automation, for a division of software testing called automation. But again, it's not like really heavy programming. It's like a lighter version of programming. You don't have to know like a lot of the advanced programming stuff. You just have to know basic programming, which is pretty easy. So that is something to do with automation, and that is software testing. Number 7 in our list is technical writer. If you simply love writing assignments, creating flowcharts when you're doing your program in computer science, then a technical writer role could be the best role that you want to have. So 90% of this job is documenting, but it does require you to talk to business, talk to technical programmers, and understand what the requirements are. And then a lot of it is about business process, flow charts, etc., about how the business functions, etc. So it's a lot of documentation. That's pretty much it. So you don't require programming, and the pay scale for this is about $50,000. Number 8, user interface designer. So if you love graphics, multimedia, then this job could be for you. You This job really took off after Apple came out. So this role did not exist, like a UI designer role did not exist until like in the 90s, right? So it got created right now. So if you look at a website and if you say, oh, maybe we should do this better, or if you're able to understand how a customer would do it, and maybe the color shouldn't be blue, it should be white, so that's why it might be better for the eyes. So if you are able to do that, if you have an artistic as well as a technical um, understanding about a product, and if you love it, then this might be a good role for you. The starting salary is not super high, but as you grow in this role, it is a very valuable role within any organization, and you might be able to pull off a lot of three-figure salaries as you grow mid-career. Number 9 is a content writer. So content writers, there are a lot of content writers. You can see like people writing content for websites, content for marketing, etc. Content writers are essentially marketers, right? So you're writing content so that you get a lot of traffic to hit your content. It's more like writing books. So you really have to know a little bit more about marketing, and have some good English so that you can write content for the web. So that's really it. So the content writer is, and it does require, so content writer is a good role with for you not having programming and having a computer science degree. It might be a good role. Again, you will have to do some HTML and CSS, but it's not programming. It's not like JavaScript, or it's not like Python or Ruby or anything. It's just little bit of markup, HTML and CSS, which is pretty simple. You can learn it in any different websites, and then different classes, like offering different schools where they offer classes. Number 10, and finally in our list, is an IT support specialist. So if you are good at fixing computers, and if you have fixed your neighbor comes to you to say, "Oh, I got a virus, can you fix it?" And if you have fixed it, then this role might be something that you might be interested in. So, IT support specialist, great role. A lot of the organizations do need people in this role. It's quite interesting if you have an interest to fix computers. So that might be good for you, and that's it. So that's it, folks. That's the top 10 top 10 careers that does not require programming. Thanks for visiting this video. If you're interested, you can visit www.advicein20s.com. That's my website. You have a lot more information about related topics. So if you're interested, you can go visit that website, and you can also subscribe to my channel and support me so that I can keep uploading more of these videos. All right, thank you. Bye.